It is not the strength of the body, it's the strength of the spirit. I'm Anthony and I'm going to take you through today's rebuild workout. Now our first warm-up triplet is going to be with med balls. So what you need is a ball here. You can do everything that we're doing with a single dumbbell or a pair of dumbbells. We just prefer that you use a medicine ball. Now we're going to start with 2 rounds of 10 med ball deadlifts, 10 push presses, and 10 thrusters. For these deadlifts, the feet are going to be a little wider than shoulder width. You have to accommodate for the ball. The hands are going to be squeezing that ball nice and tight with your fingertips pointed down to the ground. We want the shoulder blades nice and tight. We want the hips up nice and high. Nice job. Good. Now after our last rep, we're going to clean it up to our shoulders. We have push presses. We have a little dip and a drive. We're going to finish each rep with a little pause up and overhead just to show that you have full control of that weight. Notice that when she dips, her torso is completely vertical. There's no forward lean in this exercise. Good, relax. Now our last exercise is a med ball thruster. So you're going to have that dumbbell or that medicine ball in the front rack. We're going to squat all the way down and drive up. All the way down, drive up. It's a really big movement. It's a really large range of motion. It takes a lot of time, and that's okay. So you want to exhale as you stand up. Good, thank you. Now our goal here is to do the deadlifts, the push presses, right into the thrusters. Then we'll put it down, and then we'll take a little bit of a break. 2 rounds through, and then it's time to move on. Now we have Russian twists, med ball ground to overhead, and split squats. We're going to demonstrate it with the med ball, but you're welcome to do it without. Now these Russian twists, we're going to sit down on the ground with our knees bent and our feet flat on the floor. We want you to sit up nice and tall. You're going to touch one side of your hips and back. Your head should follow the ball the whole time. We don't want your head looking straight as that ball moves side to side. Good. Ideally, you reach further back than your hips to get every one of those reps in. Now from here, we're going to pop right up, and we have med ball ground to overhead. So with that med ball between your legs, just like the deadlift, we're going to start it with the deadlift and then accelerate it into a full overhead position. Your fingertips start pointing at the ground, they finish pointing up overhead, and that med ball should not spin. Good, thank you, relax. Good, after your 10 med ball ground to overhead, we want to give that med ball a big hug, and we have 10 split squats on each leg. So Jess is going to step forward, drop straight down into the ground, and lift up like so. If you want to make it harder, you can take that med ball, push it up over your head, and have those arms locked out nice and straight. Good, relax. We're doing 10 reps on each leg, then we'll go through the whole cycle a second time, and then we're moving on. Now, our strength portion today, we're going to work on the legs. Every 2 minutes for 10 minutes, we have front squats. That means 5 sets of front squats to get today going. Now, we have a tempo. 2, 1, 2, 1. That means lower for 2, 1 second pause at the bottom, rise for 2, 1 second pause at the top. So let's demonstrate with a pair of dumbbells. We're in a nice squat position. We got 2 seconds down. 1, 2, and hold. This is an active position, knees out and up. 1, 2, hold. This 1 second hold up top is enough time for you to go deep breath in, hold your breath, and lower. 1, 2, and hold. Up. 1, 2, and hold. Now, I do want this to be an active position. Can you go to the bottom for me? Her chest is up, her knees are out, her whole feet are flat on the floor. You can see that her muscles are working. Can you slump down to a total relaxed position? Right, this is what we want to try and avoid, where you're at the bottom just dropping and hanging on your tissue. So stay active, stay strong, and stand right back up. Thank you. Now, if you have a barbell, we're going to shoot for 8 reps of 2, 1, 2, 1. If you want to use a dumbbell or a medicine ball, we're going to shoot for 12 reps instead, because you'll probably be using something a little bit lighter, and that's okay. Now it's time to move on to our conditioning piece. We have a longer workout today. There's a 20-minute cap. We expect you to finish, but if you don't, again, that's a-okay. We're going to start the workout with a longer period of cardio. 800-meter run, 1,000-meter row, or a 1,600-meter bike, not all 3. So you have run, row, or bike. What we're looking for is that to take you about 3 minutes of cardio, a little bit on the under of that piece. Now we're going to pick up that med ball and hold on to it for basically the rest of the workout. We're going to start out with an option. You could do wall balls, you could do thrusters, or jump squats. Now with this med ball, you're going to hold it in the front rack. The wall ball is going to be a thruster, but you're going to throw it up in the air and catch it. Toss and catch. Good, relax for a second. Can you step back here? Let's see it again. So that med ball is up nice and high, a full squat, a toss, and a catch. What happens is that people tend to throw that ball out in front of them, so you have to focus on throwing it back towards your body. Now, after your 40 reps there, I wanted to go over some scaling options. If you don't want to squat and toss it, you're going to hold that med ball overhead and you're just going to do a thruster, so a squat without the toss. Yep, and if you don't want to do that, if your shoulders hurt, if you have trouble doing things overhead, what we're just going to do is hug that medicine ball. You're going to squat and jump. Good, thank you. Remember, you have the option. 40 reps is what we're looking for. You can do wall balls, you can do thrusters, or you can do jump squats. Now, as soon as we're done, we're going to take that med ball down to the ground for 40 ground to overhead. We did these in the warm-up, so you guys should be primed and ready to go. Tap the ground, rip it up and overhead. That med ball should stay nice and close to you, so someone should be able to walk by and give you some words of encouragement. Good job. Remember, fingertips pointed down towards the ground, then fingertips pointed straight up at the ceiling. Now, our last exercise is 40 reverse lunges. What we want you to do is give that ball a hug and hold it against your chest. Step back, tap your knee, come back to center. Back, knee, and center. Good, good, good. Now, alternatively, if you want to make this harder, we're just going to lock the hands up overhead, hold that med ball up, and step back and tap your knee. Good, relax. Now, that's half of the workout. So you start with an 800-meter run or 3 minutes of cardio. You do 40 wall balls, 40 ground to overhead, 40 reverse lunges. We're going to take everything, cut it in half. So you have a 400-meter run or a 500-meter row or a 1,000-meter bike. So if the first cardio takes you about 3 minutes, the second cardio should take you about 2. Then we have 20 wall balls, 20 med ball ground to overhead, and 20 reverse lunges, and that is it. Remember, 20-minute cap, so you have to push the pace. Try and hold on to that medicine ball for as many reps at a time as you can. Now, on to our question of the day. What did you eat for breakfast? Make sure to take what you ate for breakfast, write it down, type it up, throw it in the comments so we can find out how everyone's doing. For breakfast today, I had 2 eggs over a piece of buttered toast with a side of broccoli. I know, it's a weird breakfast. Sounds weird, tastes great. So what did you have for breakfast? Let us know in the comments and we'll talk more soon. Have a great workout and a great rest of your day.